Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing really well. Welcome back to my channel and to another food vlog. I'm so excited about this one. I just want to say before I do start, thank you so much to everyone out there who's been so lovely in the comments. Genuinely, the support's been amazing about people really saying they enjoy the food videos. I was a little bit nervous about putting them out there in the first place because I wasn't really sure if people would love them. If you really enjoy watching that kind of content. If you do enjoy the food videos, thank you, and thanks for sticking around. I love it. Food is my life, food is my passion. It's what I absolutely love. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up and the last thing I think of when I go to sleep. So yeah, we're back with another food video. Today's video is going to be a twist on the classic actually. I was going to make it more of a vlog style, and I kind of think these are nicer to watch rather than like a structured me with a camera and a tripod, just me following around my kitchen. I feel like it's a little bit more relaxed. Yes, so as you can tell by the title, we're going to be making a Millionaires Shortbread with a twist. I love Millionaires Shortbread. For those of you who don't know what Millionaires Shortbread is, I'll pop a photo on the screen now. It's essentially a 3-layered tray bake, which consists of a shortbread base. Funny enough, it's in the name. Then you've got this nice oozy set caramel, and then it's topped with some chocolate, and it's set in the fridge, and it is delightful. Probably one of my favourite all-time treats to have. We're changing it up a little bit and we're going to be doing a tart version, so we're doing a Millionaire Shortbread tart. This recipe is kind of something I've maybe played around with a little bit myself, so it's worked so far. I've just never put it in a tart before, so in theory it should work. If it does, hooray! If it doesn't, I'm sure you'll find out. I've been very professional and I've weighed out all my ingredients pre-recording this video because I thought, you know what? I'm going to be on form today. So let me show you what we've got going on. I also think I might need a coffee soon, but we'll do that in a second. So I basically weighed out all of the ingredients and laid them all out here. There isn't a lot going on really, it's very simple. I will also point out that this recipe does make 8 tarts. Now, it's only me and Zara who live here, and when I'm actually filming this, I fly to Paris this evening. So, I don't know why I'm actually making these. What I'm gonna do is make them and then pop them in the freezer, and then when we're back we can just defrost them and have them as and when. But I'm not gonna make 8, I'm only gonna make 4. So this recipe makes 8 tarts, or 1 big tray bake, so essentially I've just popped everything. So we've got 2 portions of 65 grams of unsalted butter. One is for the base and then one is for the caramel. We have 125 grams of plain flour. Now the recipe that I do traditionally use uses cake flour, but I genuinely couldn't find it anywhere. And all cake flour is, correct me if I'm wrong, I know a few of you are very much into your baking and you're very savvy. I think cake flour is essentially, I think it's got something to do with the gluten, and it's very finely sifted, and it's got corn flour mixed in as well. So I'm just gonna sift this twice before we pop it in, but we do also have some corn flour. I think, I'm not gonna guess at the top of my head, but like I said, I'm gonna be leaving the full recipe down below, but we've got some corn flour here, some golden Castor sugar, and then we've got a mix of chocolate going on. So the top usually is dark chocolate, but I do like a little bit of sweetness to come from the milk as well, so we're going to be mixing those two together. And then also Maldin and some white chocolate through at the end. And then for the caramel, we've got some golden syrup, which is delicious. It's like a form of treacle. If you can't get golden syrup, I think maple would work just as well. And some condensed milk, which is just a sweetened, very sweetened milk. And then it's my own twist on it. I'm going to pop a little bit of sea salt in. Now this is the Maldin sea salt flakes, and genuinely I absolutely swear by this stuff. It's fantastic. So I'm going to pop a little bit in the caramel and a little bit on top of the chocolate. So that's all the ingredients that you need. And then in terms of equipment, sorry about my shadow, hello. You're going to need 4 tart tins. Now these are really special because they have the bottoms that can be removed. I got these in like a homeware store near my house actually, and they're really good. I've had them for quite a few years. They are non-stick, but I do also grease them just in case. You're going to need a mixing bowl. You're also going to need a saucepan, but I haven't got that out just yet. A Sift or some kind of sieve, and some scales. And that's literally it, but I'm not going to use the scales because I've weighed everything out. And now I'm out of breath. Oh my god, I think I said all that in like 2 breaths. I'm going to make myself a coffee, and then also I think I'm going to put my apron on because I feel like this is going to get messy. I'll make myself a coffee and I'll catch you guys in a second. Okay, so while the coffee is just brewing, the apron's going on. I absolutely love this apron. I really do need to put it in the wash. It's kind of gross. It's not the most hygienic of things, but you know, it's great. Okay, so step 1 is you're going to want to pop your oven onto 180 degrees. Now this is a fan oven, so let's go about there. If you are using a conventional oven, I'd probably drop this down. In fact, I'd probably leave this up to about 190, but 180 is usually a sweet spot for anything remotely like cake base. And yeah. Okay, so step number 1 is to grab a large bowl. I usually use this because it's so lightweight. So in this bowl, you're gonna wanna beat your butter, which is what we're gonna add in now. So we're gonna put the 65 grams of unsalted butter into your bowl. And then we're gonna wanna beat that with Castor sugar. Now I'm using golden Castor sugar just because I think it helps with the color and also the caramelly taste. So now that's in, grab yourself a wooden spoon. You don't need any like fancy heavy kitchen equipment, and just beat this until it's nice and creamed together. I rather stupidly trained my arms this morning. This is quite difficult. However, what you are looking for is just a nice, smooth, creamy consistency. If you do want to use an electronic whisk, by all means do. But this is the kind of vibe you're looking for. Just nice and creamy and smooth. And don't worry if you are doing it like me and halving the ingredients to make 4 tarts. It's not a lot to work with, but once everything else gets added in, you should be grand. Okay, so once you have creamed your butter and sugar together, then you want to add your plain flour and your Castor sugar. Now, as I said, I've already sieved this once, but then I'm going to sieve it again into the bowl. The great thing about this sieve as well is you can do it one-handed. I know you can with the shimmy ones, but I feel like this brings me a lot of joy. This is an IKEA number for anyone out there wondering, and it's absolutely brilliant. So that's the flour in, and we're going to do corn flour as well. Okay guys, so this is what you're kind of looking for, something that resembles a dough of sorts. If it's quite short, which means it's crumbly, that's really good. You don't want like a really tough doughy shortbread. I know this is actually going to form a pastry case, so it does obviously need to come together. Have faith. If you need to get your hands involved, I took the spooner after like a minute or so and just got my hands involved, because sometimes the warmth of your hands can actually just melt the butter, but don't over knead it, otherwise it goes really, really tough. So that's perfect. So I'm going to grab the pastry cases now and then pop this in there. So whenever I'm working with individual tart tins, what I do tend to do is pop it on a baking tray. I just find it easier to just transport them all in one rather than individually, especially when they're going in the oven. And I have just lightly greased these. As I said, they are non-stick, but I've had them quite a few years, and I just feel like a mild grease is a good idea. I've just used a little bit of butter that was left on the parchment paper, but if you've got some spray, that's also really good. So we're literally just going to take a spoonful of this into each and then press it up to the sides just so there's a case, and then they're going to go in the oven.
I will get close to your heartache if you want to open your door. I'm feeling kinda lost when your mind is high.
Once they're firmly pressed into the shells, it's a little bit of work, but trust me, it's worth it. Just prick the bases lightly. This just stops it expanding when it's in the oven and lets the base breathe as well. So you just want to prick the bases on each individual case. And then these just need to go into the preheated 180-degree oven for about 15 to 18 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. Okay, so when the cases are baking in the oven, it's a good chance to just have a little coffee break. I'm joking, I mean I am going to. But no, once they're in the oven, it's a good chance to now start making the caramel. The caramel's dead easy. You're not going to make like a traditional caramel. Obviously traditional caramel, you do sugar in a pan, high heat until it melts, and then you bring up the boil, and it's all very like bowl. This is like a soft, easy caramel. So for our caramel, we have 4 ingredients. We have butter, which is 65 grams, 62.5 grams of golden Castor sugar. We have half a can of condensed milk, and this is literally just essential Waitrose condensed milk, and some golden syrup, which is what I said earlier, and then this is just for the topping. Oh, and some sea salt. Oh, I didn't add the sea salt into the base of the shortbread purely just because I'm adding salt into the caramel and also salt on top, so I just thought let's just skip the salt in the base because we're going to get it elsewhere. So yeah, we're going to add all of this into a heavy bottomed saucepan. Okay, so into this saucepan we're going to add all of the ingredients, and we're going to want to put it onto a medium heat at first just to get them all melted and incorporated, and then we turn the heat up to high and boil them for about 5 minutes until it goes nice and thick, but do watch it because it can catch and burn. If it does, you start getting these black flecks in your caramel, which is just not good. So we're going to add everything in. So in goes the butter, the Castor sugar, the condensed milk, and then finally the golden syrup. This can be a little bit tricky to get out, so do bear with. Okay, so we're going to want to bring this up to the boil and make sure everything's nice and melted, and then as soon as it starts boiling, reduce the heat down to a nice simmer and simmer it for 5 minutes.
I will get close to your heartache
So the tarts are out of the oven and they look great. They're a very beautiful golden brown colour and smell fantastic. So it's a good idea to let these cool completely, and they will poof back down the middle. So just risen a little bit, but that's perfect. So over here in the caramel section, we brought this up to the boil and now we're just letting it stir and really reduce down, and it's gone a beautiful colour. Don't worry about those bits of sugar, they're literally just ones that have caught, and they will dissolve once the mixture cools down, which is perfect. Okay, so the caramel is done and it is looking fantastic. I've taken off the heat and it's really thickened up, which is exactly what we want. And now I'm going to grab some of the rock salt flakes. I'm not going to go wild because obviously you still want it to be sweet, but I just think a nice little pinch just to give it a hint of saltiness. Salt and sweet, for some reason it just works. Trust me people, you don't need a lot. Perfect. And that's just going to be stirred in. And it's a good idea to just leave this cool for a couple of minutes, leave the tarts to cool for a couple of minutes, and then all you do is pour this on top of the tarts and leave it to cool completely. Okay, so now the tarts are cooling over here. I've just put the kettle on to boil some water, and I'm going to pop the chocolate into a heat-proof bowl. I'm going to bring this over here and pop that on a bain-marie and just let this melt down nice and slowly. Okay, so now the chocolate is fully melted. It is looking glossy and smooth, so it's absolutely perfect. So you just want to take that off the heat and then replace it with the white chocolate, which is then going to need to get melted next. Okay, so now I've just melted the white chocolate, and what I've done is just popped a reusable piping bag in a glass, and I'm just going to pour the white chocolate into the piping bag. Now I haven't done a lot of white chocolate, but what it's going to do is essentially pipe a line on top, and then we're going to grab a toothpick and then just jagger it through. I've actually forgot the name of it. I think it's called feathering. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's called feathering. Give these a go. I'm a traveling spirit. And then I think just drag it along one way and then back the other.
I've seen many shores, from the West Pacific to the island of Kenya. They treat me like a son anywhere I go.
Okay, so this is what the tarts are looking like currently, and you are more than welcome to just leave them like this. I think they look fantastic. This salt is just purely an addition for flavour purposes. If you want to make this as, I guess, I mean, the word isn't healthy, but less salt, then by all means don't do it. But they look really effective, and I think just making them into a tart makes them a little bit more decadent rather than just a slice of Millionaires Shortbread. As delicious as that is, this will still taste the same, it just looks a little bit nicer. They're still currently in their pastry cases just because I'm going to let them cool completely, do the dishes, and then I'll come back to this, but I'm going to just add some sea salt to them now. Okay, so these are the finished tarts. I've just popped them in the fridge for about, I'd say maybe 5-10 minutes just to let the top set up completely. They aren't fully set, but they are pretty much there. Obviously they're still in their cases, so I'm just about to remove them. And then I'm going to take some pictures on my camera. I don't actually think I've told you guys what camera I've got. Basically, I bought a new one really recently. I know this isn't food related, but this is what I do take all my food pictures on, and quite a few people do ask. It's the Lumix G9 with a 17mm 1.8 lens. It's really good. It's kind of like a good all-round general camera, and it's really good for filming as well. I absolutely love it. So yeah, this is my new toy and I absolutely love it. So yeah, back to these. I'm going to take these out the cases now, hopefully without any breakages. Cut one in half and see what they look like inside. I mean, I don't like to usually put pressure on myself, but I feel like today is the, oh wow, oh my god, straight out. Wow, look at that. Not a bother at all. That on the side, in theory, should just come off the base too. Perfect. Look at that. That is one very delightful Millionaire's tart. I'm super happy with that. Now to do the others. And this is what we're dealing with, guys. We've got the beautiful chocolate on top, the crispy shortbread base, and then the caramel filling with the salt. I'm so excited to try this. I'm just about to take a photo. I want to see this pop up on your Instagram. You can follow my food account, which is Luke Catlow Eats. I'm going to leave it on screen. I know I keep on rambling about it, but that's the best place to catch all of these recipes if you do want to see some more.
No one can tell. I still feel that I'm alone.
Okay, I think I've got the shot. I'm really happy with how they've turned out. Let me give you a quick sneak peek, like so you can see the full thing. Probably going to be live by the time this goes live. That's what we're kind of dealing with right now. I feel like it's only right now to try it on camera and see how we're going to get on. You gonna get my live reaction. We're not gonna lie. Let's go in. Oh my god. That is naughty. Do you know what? I feel like I could have gone a little bit heavier on the sea salt. I'm probably gonna put a little bit more sea salt on the chocolate while the chocolate's still setting. God, that's good. I'd say the base is a tad crispy, maybe a little overbaked. And that's me being like quite critical about myself, but I think with a cup of tea that'll be. So I say about every single thing I bake, with a cup of tea, that'll be delicious. But that's good on its own too. So these are the layers I'm talking about, guys. We've got shortbread biscuit, caramel, and chocolate. You can't really see the caramel. Sorry, my camera's trying to focus on me more than anything. That's delightful. I'm very, very happy with how they've turned out. So that's it, guys. That's the end of the baking video. Thank you so much for watching again. I saw a lot of comments about people asking for vegan bakes and also gluten-free bakes. Now, those are both things that I can do. This is most definitely not the above gluten-free or vegan, but actually I guess you could do this. Yeah, you could definitely do this because you can get vegan chocolate. Vegan condensed milk might be tricky, but I guess you could make your own caramel. Definitely something I will consider. I'll definitely do some vegan bakes and gluten-free bakes for sure. As always, thank you so much for watching. It really does mean the world, and your comments are so, so lovely. I'll catch you very, very soon for more exciting videos. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye for now.